In 1984, whispers passed from ear to ear to the box office, then later to VHS, about a story that was not merely a tale, but a mirror held to the hearts of those who dared to dream. In every corner of the waking world, it reminded children and grown-ups alike that imagination was not a distraction, but a force strong enough to rebuild a crumbling world. Welcome to Real Wonders, a show where we look at some of my favorite films and talk about all kinds of movie magic. My name is Rick Masi, and today I'll be your guide through The Neverending Story. Directed by Wolfgang Petersen, The Neverending Story remains one of the most imaginative fantasy films of all time. Based on Michael Ende's novel, the film captured the hearts of audiences with its stunning visual landscape, allegorical depth, and the timeless message about the power of belief and imagination. The Neverending Story follows Bastian, a boy who discovers a magical book about the world of Fantasia, which is being consumed by a dark force called the Nothing. In the story, a young boy warrior named Atreyu is chosen to embark on a quest to save Fantasia by finding a cure for the dying Empress. Watching it as a kid, I love the magic and the whimsy in this film. I wanted to be the kid riding on Falcor, cruising through the streets. When I watch it now as an adult, oh man, buckle up, because the themes of this film are far deeper than you can imagine. We begin our journey with Bastian, who is struggling with the death of his mother. He's bullied by kids at school, feels misunderstood by his father, and altogether invisible to the world. His dad gives him the classic, "You need to grow up," style speech at the beginning of the film.
As to those riding lessons you wanted, you say you love horses, and yet you seem to be afraid to get on a real one. Now, Bastian, you're old enough to get your head down out of the clouds and start keeping both feet on the ground, right?
One of my favorite scenes happens in the first act, even before we jump into anything fantasy related. While attempting to run away from the bullies, Bastian hides in a bookstore. The old curmudgeon bookseller warns Bastian that the book he's reading, The Neverending Story, is not like any of the books Bastian reads. He tells him, "Your books are safe," and implies that real stories, the kind that change you at your core, demand something of the reader.
What's that book about?
Oh, this is something special.
Well, what is it?
Look, your books are safe. By reading them, you get to become Tarzan or Robinson Crusoe.
But that's what I like about him.
But afterwards you get to be a little boy again.
What do you mean?
Listen. Have you ever been Captain Nemo? Trapped inside your submarine while the giant squid is attacking you?
Yes,
Weren't you afraid you couldn't escape?
but it's only a story.
That's what I'm talking about. The ones you read are safe.
And that one isn't?
What I now realize he means is that the stories are not just for entertainment. They are mirrors and maps to our inner selves. So, when the bookseller isn't looking, Bastian steals the book and hides out in the coolest school attic I've ever seen. I didn't know schools had an attic. Did your school have an attic? My school didn't have an attic. Now, earlier I told you that you need to buckle up because the themes of this film are very deep, existential even. Let's talk about the Nothing. The Nothing isn't your typical mustache-twirling villain. It represents the killing of dreams, imagination, and hope. In the film, it is a force consuming Fantasia. Another of my favorite scenes is the introduction of the Rockbiter, Nighthawk, and Teeny Weeny. Stop laughing.
Near my home, there used to be a beautiful lake. But then it was gone.
Did the lake dry up?
No, it just wasn't there anymore. Nothing was there anymore. Not even a dried up lake.
You see, when I was a kid, I was enamored by these magical creatures. I mean, a giant rock guy, a racing snail, a bat you could ride on, but the significance of the nothing was largely lost on me. Later on, the Rockbiter returns. In what I now view as a really powerful scene, the Rockbiter, who is a massive stone creature, sits in despair and mourns the destruction of his world.
They look like big, good, strong hands, don't they? I always thought that's what they were. Oh, my little friends. The little man with his racing snail, the nighthawk, even the stupid bat. I couldn't hold on to them. The nothing pulled them right out of my hands.
It's a moment of profound reflection and helplessness. To be so big and strong, yet he can't stop what is happening. So what is the allegory here? Depression. We're talking about depression, or at least the mirroring of depression. You know, that slow, creeping void that slowly drains the meaning from life? Just as Fantasia vanishes into grayness, so does the human spirit under the weight of despair and apathy. Or should I say, just as the human spirit vanishes under the weight of despair and apathy, so does Fantasia. We'll get to that. Complacency also feeds the nothing. When people stop caring, stop dreaming, and stop believing, the nothing grows. Morla, the Ancient One, hints at nihilism, the idea that life is meaningless. They say, we don't even care whether or not we care.
Mona, I bring terrible news. Did you know that the Empress is very ill?
Not that it matters, but yes. Actually, we don't care.
If I don't save her, she'll die. There's a terrible nothing sweeping over the land. Don't you care about that?
We don't even care whether or not we care.
Just so bleak. Which leads me to this. You knew I couldn't talk about the never-ending story without mentioning it. We all know the scene. Poor Artax.
Artax! Fight against the sadness, Artax! Artax, please. You're letting the sadness of the swamps get to you. You have to try. You have to care. For me. You're my friend. I love you. Artax! Stupid horse! You gotta move or you'll die! Move, please! I won't give up! Don't quit! Artax!
In the unforgettable scene where Atreyu's horse, Artax, sinks into the swamps of sadness, Artax succumbs to despair and sinks to his death. The swamp feeds on sadness, pulling those without hope down under. This heartbreaking moment shows how easy it is to give in to depression, how hopelessness can consume us to the point where we do nothing. Let me tell you, every time Atreyu says, you have to try, you have to care, doing everything he can to try and save his friend, and we slowly watch the horse sink. Damn. This is a kid's movie. We see a similar point made later in the film when Atreyu faces the Southern Oracle, which reveals that he cannot pass unless he believes in himself. Is this not an internal struggle we all face? Self-doubt is destructive, but belief is what shields us. As Bastian continues, he discovers that he is not just a boy reading this book. He's a part of the story. In the finale, when the Empress asks him to give her a new name, she begs him to save Fantasia with his belief, with his imagination.
He doesn't understand that he's the one who has the power to stop it. He simply can't imagine that one little boy could be that important. Is it really me? Maybe he doesn't know what he has to do! What do I have to do? He has to give me a new name. He's already chosen it. He just has to call it out. But it's only a story. It's not real.
So how do you beat the nothing, aka complacency and despair, the whimsy and resilience of a child? Fantasia is the world of imagination, and its survival depends on belief and creativity. When people stop dreaming, Fantasia begins to disappear. The Gomorrah confirms this for us.
What is the nothing?
It's the emptiness that's left. It is like a despair, destroying this world. And I have been trying to help it.
But why?
Because people who have no hopes are easy to control. And whoever has the control has the power.
People have begun to lose their hopes and forget their dreams. We're talking about childhood, a time in our lives when anything is possible and magic still matters. Children, their stories and ideas are what sustain the universe of Fantasia. Possibility and beauty. The nothing is a metaphor for everyday mundane and cynical life. This movie pleads with us to not give up on whimsy. As a parent, this message hits hard. We shouldn't want our kids to grow up too quickly. We want them to believe in wonder and experience all the magic there is in life. The Neverending Story is a film that tells us the truth, that life can be sad, uncertain, and meaningless unless we choose to give it meaning. It offers hope that imagination, stories, and big whimsical ideas can save us. It shows that our inner child is not something to grow out of, but something to protect. It's a film that generations return to because it shows us that stories are pieces that make up our own worlds. And it has a pretty banger theme song. I'm Rick Masi, this has been Real Wonders. Until next time.
You want to sing us some bars?
Oh, as I walk out? Oh God. All right, ready? Turn around, look at what you see. Don't include that.
Break it down now, break it down now.